Welcome to String Theory with Anthony Douglas. I am your host, Anthony Douglas. At any rate, here we are way out in the middle of nowhere again. Yet, I have accomplished this one more time. The driving has taken us here. At any rate, today I'm wanting to talk to you quite a bit about we've been talking about unions quite a bit, and I am going to actually show you so you can see that I am way out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, happy. Yes, there we are. Yes. At any rate, I'm wanting to talk to you today about unions, things that are unprofessional, things that are professional, and just different things that go on and what might be able to make things better or not. So I'm going to take a stab at this thing again and talk to you about unions, having strong unions. You have to be a union musician to play in a certain place, and the reasons why you would want that to keep your money intact, keep your price, with the inflation costs going up, fuel costs going up, to help keep your costs equal with everything else that's going up. And also, the weekend warriors. Let's talk about that one a little bit, happy baby. Yes. Weekend warriors. I'm gonna need some caffeine here to just indulge and thoroughlize in this. At any rate, so wow. At any rate, the weekend warriors, they've been a product of this thing for a while. Now, there are pro musicians that just do this on the week-to-week basis. They could, like me, you could almost go 7 days a week, just 24 hours a day doing it. However, there are people that have, other types of jobs. They might be in the government. They might be a supervisor somewhere. And this is a way to get away from the kids and the little lady and to get free drinks for an excuse to get away from them. But they will never tell you this, happy baby. They will never say this. Now, the problem with the weekend warrior is the weekend weakens them. Yes, baby. They can't take it because they've got another job. They've got another job that they're doing. Now, once they've played the weekend and they've pretended that they're at a big concert at their bar gig, baby. And maybe let's just say that these people aren't hacks. They're not bad musicians. They're not the best. They're not over the top, but they're not bad either. They're and they've got a following, they've got all of this, they've got all of that. And if they did want to do it for a full-time living, they could. But they've chosen not to, baby. And now you are the only professional in the band. You're the only one taking it serious, happy baby. Yes, you feel it, don't you? You feel the decline while I'm here feeling the rush. Wow. Whoa. At any rate, you're feeling it because it's real. And they are not taking it the same way that you are. They're not serious with it, happy baby. They're not. This is flying model airplanes on the weekends. You know, this is getting together for bowling night Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about, baby? Of course you do. Yeah. And of course they want you to be a excuse me. They want you to be completely, what should we say, loyal. Yes, baby. A loyal mutt. Because they don't respect you, baby. Baby. And now you're stuck with them. And they say wonderful little things to you, you know, like, we work, as if you don't. Maybe you're the most talented one in the band too. Maybe they're riding in on you. Maybe the reason they've got a lot of what they have is because you were in the band. But you see, baby, they work. They have a job. They have money coming in. And you know, anybody can say they work hard, right? You can say, well, I'm working awfully hard. But if the money isn't coming in, right, then somehow you don't work. Because they have money coming in. They have a family. And baby, it's not your family. It's theirs. We all have kids. No, in some instances, we have grandchildren. Oh, really? So now I'm saddled playing the nightclubs with Gramps. Yeah, baby. You're saddled playing these places with family people. They're not gypsies, baby. They're not gypsies. You know what I'm talking about, baby? The only time they've seen the road is when they have to go to the Walmart store. You know? And now that they've got you in the band and you're their loyal mutt, we're going to be happy forever and ever and ever and ever. Because we're going to have you in there full time, right? Full time meaning Friday and Saturday night. And the heck with Sundays, because Sundays are usually the times you go out looking for jam sessions and places to promote your band. But that's not going to happen, baby, because they work. And they have children. Now, I'm not putting down people who have children. I wanted children. I think I thought that I was going to be like Mike Brady, with 6 kids in that house, that car, vacations, and, all that money, baby. But things just, it wasn't in the cards, baby. That's not the way it all worked out. Now, let's just say you're a little tired of going broke on the weekends, being these people's loyal mutt, right? So you decide to step out a little. Go to some jams on Sundays, Join a few extra bands. Now let's just say these extra bands are not that good. They're working. They might have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or even a Sunday jam that they're holding, whatever. But you're involved in all of this, baby. It's starting to work out for you. Until the weekend warriors get a job that's booked on top of one of your side bands, baby. Now you've got a double booking. And there's a choice you're going to have to make. You're the loyal mutt in this band that's actually doing pretty good, that only wants to work weekends. But you may have to burn one of your other gigs. And let's just say you burn one of them and it's just going to make them feel bad. Maybe they'll still keep working with you, but it's just going to make them feel bad. This is a rough spot to be in, And you have to remember something, happy baby, about your loyal mutt situation over there with the band that's, doing really well. It's booked on the weekends. Once in a while, the radio station comes out. They act like they're going to make it in, go to Nashville at any given moment. Yeah, right. They're going to go to Nashville and they have all these day jobs. Really? Really, baby? And even if they are going to Nashville, there's a saying in the music industry: trust no one that is going to Nashville. Trust no one that is going to Nashville. Yes, baby. I had to get a little rough that time, didn't I? But you feel it now, don't you, baby? With your band, and now you've got bands, doing one-night stands, playing with our bands. You know what I'm talking about, baby. And now you've got some 10 o'clock gigs. You've got gigs all over the place. But the weekend warriors are believing that you're that loyal mutt. Baby, you might be able to pull this off for months, maybe even years. But what happens when the weekend warriors find out that you've been moonlighting this whole time, baby? Yeah? Suddenly, things can go wild. You get angry. You get fired. Or you call their bluff and you just leave the band. You go, you know what? You guys are only weekends, so I gotta get out of here. I gotta leave, baby. I gotta get out of the scene. Hey, there's a guy on his tractor coming around. He's got doing some tractor work out here. Yeah, on his farm tractor. That's pretty cool. But at any rate, going back to this thing, I mean, you can see what I'm talking about. Let's just say they have fired you, baby. Because you're not the loyal mutt they thought you were. And now you've still got your other bands that you've been working with, right? You've got your other bands that you can go to, and you can, believe me, get something going and it'll all work out for you. Or you can get some other weekend warriors that want another band and replace them, baby. That can happen. That can happen. Because you being a, what do they call you? An independent contractor? You're allowed to moonlight, baby. Whether they like it or not. There are no contracts. If they had to sign a contract, they'd melt. Like snow melting or ice cream or something. They would just melt. They come on like the abominable snowman and then they just melt. Because they have to live up to the contract. But they're not going to do that. No. They don't want that kind of responsibility, baby. Which frees you up to do whatever you want to do. Really. Now, let's just say you have your band and, you've got to fill some other situations in. When you leave their band, whether you left or you got fired, be super nice and say, well, you know what? Look, I've got some gigs here, okay? But if one of you guys cannot make it, you cannot do the gig, and we're speaking to your weekend warrior band now, the one that fired you, then I would be willing to come in and substitute for anybody that needs help. And you know what's going to happen, baby? 10 to 1. 10 to 1. They call you up. They go with you. They hire you for a substitute. And then they keep hiring you, baby. Because even though you weren't their loyal mutt, You showed up for the gigs, baby. And you showed up for the gigs more than the leader of the band did. Yes. Guess who was taking vacations in Hawaii, baby? Not you. The leader of the band. Guess who had to duck out when little Johnny, had the diarrhea that night? The little lady got lonely, so they had to stay home for the evening. All these times they got sick, all these times they couldn't make the gig, but you did, baby. You did. So 10-1, if you play your cards right, these situations can work out because they know you're a nice guy, and they know that you show up on all the gigs. Maybe there's something there, a gig that you can't show up on or whatever, but you've been there more than anybody else has been there. And this is what's going to send you over the top, happy baby. All right. Well, I got to try to get out of this place. I really cannot believe that that there are no rides going out of here, baby. And I got a gig tonight. I've got one with Farmer Dave about 6 o'clock. That's gonna be fun. So at any rate, if you like what you hear, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.